Because what one has to understand is that in the mid-1910s, especially in the United States of America, people were beginning to wear belts more, since, for example, it was more in formal context, the younger and all more people posing as, being more trendy, being with the youth, may simply wear a coat and not a waistcoat, and thus the waistband would show. And braces were considered then undergarments not to be seen, so they would wear a belt. And especially by that time, massive mass production using machines, but they're absolutely massive. That were more caused by the late 10s, 20s in places like in the United Kingdom of Great Britain, was already in full bloom, and most people were purchasing, even a lot of upper middle class people, as Nicole Rudolph points out, in the United States of America, especially the Northeast, these ready-made garments, including suitings and all, not just the undergarments and accessories and hats and all. And so they began to make, actually sold some for sale upon eBay. These were American, and American was sort of pointing out an American brand. Trousers with the buttons upon the outside of the waistband and the belt loops. And quickly they realized this was impractical, because when one passed the belt, when one desired to wear them, even with belt, the belt and the braces, as I call them, passing, it may actually pull the buttons off, and it will damage the belt. That was the main reason why it would start moving the probably started as a mass pre-made, what's it called, off the rack thing, and then called on by people having custom or even bespoke, or even full bespoke made items, to have the belt loops, and then the suspended buttons on the inside. And by the mid-20s, some people, or even before, even in England, even who only wore buttoned braces, still desired the brace buttons just like today to be sewn on the inside, because probably by that point had forgotten to be sewn on the outside. Is actually more comfortable because it is less likely to rub. But also, less likely, especially at the very beginning, especially in more conservative, by that point more conservative places, it was simply because also they may always wear braces, but they may think, they may often at least not wear a waistcoat, and they still do not, they feel it shall hide the brace tab more if it is inside, when the coat opens, when the coat opens up and all. Likewise, even when it's fully truly bespoke made, even for a rich person, if you like that pair of trousers, by the buttons being always sewn inside, he may suddenly realize that he wants to wear a belt, and thus he would just take it to anyone who did it to just have belt loops added, and the buttons were already sewn upon the inside. But this was extremely rare in the 19th and early 20th centuries to have buttons sewn inside. I think it was actually inexistent, especially in England, whatever. So now I will try them on, and they will not, I will just show you, but I can't actually do it because I do not want to wear the trousers and have it, that are more modern and have it, whatever. So imagine I've already talked about everything I'm now wearing in all the videos, so if one is interested, check them out. This locks into place like so. No, this is about done. So this is the right way. See, it's not elastic. It is a canvas, a grey canvas, and it has got rust stains from being stored so long because of the buckles, probably with humidity, not actually getting wet or tear because the box is still intact. And it is crudely, at least for the time since, then sword color of the machine. But it doesn't have a, not 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places that. This is like a sticky belt, except it does not stick at all. But I guess to some degree it offers a friction, being of that canvasy material. I'm confused how to blast it. And this is the right way. So then, I'm tighten it. I don't want to tighten it because there's no point to see it. Tighten it, I'm going to do this, tighten that. It will, keep the shed well, sort of well tucked in, not as good as shed blazes, obviously, but except if one mega tightened it and it's bound to suffocate as hell. And then, for example, I made this plate with the button off the French buyer. See, it just buttons like, what does it say? With wire loops, so these wire loops should point down. You pass them on. I don't want to do that, I'm afraid to damage them. And then you turn them up, and you want to take that belt and sag it down a bit, and it is meant to hold up. It is not uncomfortable, one has to really tighten it as hell. And it acts as both a belt to keep the shaft, to some degree if one is going around the shaft, like I am, from riding off in the trousers. Yeah. Staying as if they had braces, ready to not be quite like if they had braces, especially with non-elasticated braces like I wear. These are really, this thing is holding things the best. But this is so rare. This is literally a museum insanity rare, especially to come with the original box like that. So I obviously purchased it with the idea of not wearing it. This would be tragedy to wear it, in my opinion. And I like to keep them just like so. I was actually meant to talk about this in another video. No, I mixed up everything. Last. So it's kind of like this cycle to keep it secure. I will quickly talk about some repairs that occurred, which are not historically accurate. So one shall remember these places I talked about in the last video. New repairs been done. There's one may see. Already there was a black piece added, there's not here. Now this is the only original part that is separated. It was obviously breaking that, foreseeing that. I had this by the same shop expert replicated, but it has a new buckle. Because when they said the black thing, they used the original buckle because it had actually already broken. So I brought it to them, told them to take away the buckle. One they now think, well, there's not one way for it to completely break and remove the buckle, because I desired to actually keep an original buckle upon one of the original straps. So they showed it to me through WhatsApp pictures, and this seemed to be more like the original, but actually it was not, and it is much bigger, but it offers a style. And I wanted it did not have suede, so because they became brown, I told them what was the class's colored, I only had 5 options. This was what they came up with, but at least they replicated the exact same stitching pattern. And by that point, this is and also they rather important to change the leather. See, when they changed that one on the original strap, one point had broken. I explained for Instagram.